Alright guys, welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video, and today we are going to be talking about this oil pressure gauge from Autool. This is the PT620, and I'm just doing a quick review. I've had this for probably over a year now, about a year, a little over a year. Unfortunately, it's not something that you use every day. However, when you do need it, you need it. So we're testing out this, what is it, 2014 or something like that?
It's a cargo van.
Is a Ford Transit 150. And the complaint is that the oil pressure light flickers. So we're gonna go ahead and use this real quick, show you all the little adapters and how you connect it and how it works overall. I'm actually quite pleased with it. And then some things that I do like about it and some things that I don't like about it. So just to be fair. So anyways, this is our culprit guy. It's gonna be a bad switch, bad pressure switch. However, how do you know if it's a switch or if you really do have an oil pressure problem? So to figure that out, you need to put in a mechanical gauge, or in this case is a digital gauge, but it's an external gauge, none other whatever, you know what I mean. Nonetheless, thank you. Tongue twister there. So anyways, this kit comes with several little adapters, and what I do love about this kit is that they're quick connects. So if you've ever fooled around with a oil pressure gauge, you know that you have to actually screw in the hose in there. For most of these cheaper gauges, you have to screw in the hose, and then normally the gauge side is a quick connect for the most part. Sometimes not even that, but the one that I have bought from Harbor Freight that I've used many times, that's how that works. The gauge itself is quick connect, not this. The fitting is quick connect, so you can get into those tight little spaces. You could use a socket, you could do whatever, and then you just quick connect the hose with the gauge and everything. In this case, you don't have much of a hose. It's already connected. I'm gonna show you that here shortly. And you get this 90-degree elbow here, which is also quick connect. So those weird spots where you can put the fitting, get the 90, and then get the angle you need. So that's pretty cool too. You get how many? 16, I think. 16 adapters. So you should have plenty of adapters for your application. So let's look at the gauge itself. Like I said, it's digital. Let's go ahead and turn it on. There's several features that I do like about this. You gotta press and hold. You could change the, I think this is the button, yes. You can change the measurement, PSI, bar, so forth. And you get max, min, and I think this is the average or something. This is actual pressure right here. And there's you can lock it. And I like this feature so that you can, and I'm gonna show you how that works here shortly. You can press this, it'll reset all these parameters, and then you can literally just, like, let's say you want to give it some time to see what it does, you can just leave it there, and then when you come back, it'll give you the min and max. So if you have all of a sudden a drop in pressure or something like that, you come back and say, oh, wait a minute, it did drop below whatever, or it went down to 0 or whatnot. I'll show you how that works here shortly. But let's go to the actual business end, and that's going to be down here. Obviously, you have to remove this guy and insert the appropriate adapter. Excuse the mess here. We also changed the oil here, but that's where the pressure sensor goes. You're gonna probably see a little bit of leakage there. That's to be expected. You know, you don't over tighten these things. You just put it, snug it, make sure you don't have a major leak. Sometimes you get a little seepage. As long as you're not losing pressure, you should be all right. And then you just do a quick connect. As you can see, the quick connect right there, and it goes right into it, and you're done. And it uses a pressure transducer, which is right here. And this is the hose right here, just this piece right here to the pressure transducer, and then it's just electronic wiring to the gauge itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire this up, and we'll get you guys a quick view on how this works. So we're gonna go ahead and fire up the vehicle. Boom. And you start getting a reading immediately. And let me turn off the headlight. There we go. And there you have it. Alright, so the car is cold, so you're gonna have high pressures. Here it tells you the max, minimum, and I believe that's the average, if I remember correctly. You can lock it in place, unlock it. You can use this here to refresh these parameters, and you can see the change over time. So that's a neat little feature that I do like. And you can just keep doing that as needed, just like that. So as the car warms up, obviously you're going to see this pressure go low, and you just compare it with whatever your spec is for your vehicle. In this case, it should be at operating temperature should be 30 psi at 1500 rpms. So the engine is cold, so I'm just gonna let this hang here, and I'm gonna show you that feature. We're gonna give it a little bit of gas to bring up the oil pressure real quick. The oil pressure light is on because obviously we have that sensor disconnected, so that's to be expected. But we have pressure. So let's go ahead and take a gander here. We're down to 74. But you see our maximum pressure was 87.74, and the minimum so far has been 74.69. So there you have it. So wonderful feature. I do like that, and that could be useful in situations when, you know, you don't have to sit there and stare at the gauge. You can, you know, put it down real quick, do something, go get a tool or something, and come back, and then you'll have your parameters there. So that's pretty nifty. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off. So like I said, what I do like is all these adapters. The quick connect to me is what takes the cake. I'm not sure if any other of the big tool suppliers offer this style right here. They probably do. I'm not sure. I gotta look into that. I don't know if Snap-on, Matco, or, you know, other manufacturers like that offer that. They might. I'm not gonna say for sure, but I know the other lower end oil pressure gauges, like from Harbor Freight and whatnot, they definitely don't do that. You gotta go in there with the hose itself and screw it onto the block, and then it just becomes a whole thing. So
This is great.
yeah, this is great. This is great. Autool is making good stuff. I have several of their tools, and they do make good stuff, you know. I have nothing bad to say up to this point, you know. I did buy one tool. I don't use it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't use it, so it just kind of sits there. But things like this, like I say, it's just, you need it when you need it. It's one of those things. You need it when you need it.
It's one of those things that it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have
Exactly. So now we know this is bad. It's fine. The oil pressure is fine. The switch is bad, so we got one on the way. What I would like is for those of us, again, this is great, but for those of us, myself included, sometimes prefer the mechanical, regular, old school gauge. If they had a version of that using this same system, that would be cool too, you know. Again, I'm old school, so I sometimes like that big clunky round thing, but this works great. This really does. So just a quick video to give you my thoughts and a quick overview of how this works. And if you're thinking about getting one, don't hesitate. It's actually a pretty good deal here, as far as functionality is concerned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.